Hello. I just wanted to do some of my astrology that I never get through, and you never do. I mean, astrology is ongoing in the solar system here. Kind of interesting. Not anything that's actually doing anything, but it's interesting that it is doing something. We have influences from the heavens, I think, kind of like a huge resonating um, um, I don't know, I don't want to call it a membrane, but the plasmatic field could be considered that. The unifying field, right? I'm looking for my glasses. Nowadays it's February 5th, and I might just post this immediately. We have Sun at 15 Aquarius, the Moon is in Sagittarius, early degree, and then Mercury. Mercury is like hitting 0 degrees sometime in between now and tomorrow. Aquarius, which that's the big aspect that pops out right now is the Pluto. Of course, the Mercury conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. This is the first time that we're just getting these conjunctions with Pluto um, uh, with the personal planets. See, first it was the sun, but really the sun is like the sun was purified by Pluto in Aquarius at 0 really it was the Capricorn flash, right? At 29 degrees before Pluto moved into Aquarius. And now Mercury's talking with Pluto in Aquarius doing the conjunction. And this is so heavy duty for investigating humanitarian issues um, because it's in Aquarius. I mean, that's the humanitarian issue. Uh, Mercury is investigations and information gathering of all kinds, large and small, detailed and non-detailed, and Pluto really gets in depth. I mean, how deep do you want to go? It actually is the penetrating into prime causes, and with Mercury there, a lot of people with Mercury conjunct Pluto are really good detectives. They might be a detective for a living, or they have like a clairvoyance that's just very penetrating mind, an intense mind. They need to put that to work because I imagine it could be working too much over time. But there's something about their minds that are just really, I don't think that Pluto conjunct Mercury depends on what sign it is, right? I don't think, but generally we'll let them be uh, fool themselves too much to the point really that they'll have mental powers and probably try to. The detriment of it would be to try to use that right again to manipulate other people because they're just far more penetrating and maybe they dare manipulate minds that way. See, that would be the negative part of it. The conjunction with Pluto, though, it being that personal, I have a conjunction with Pluto too, and when it's conjunct, unlike the square, you just can't mess around like that. It'll really, you really can't mess around. The square is where you'll mainly see somebody. See, you'll get really burned being in conjunction and behaving in deceitful, deviant ways, rather than using it for your own good and others' own good when they get close to you. See, that's doesn't mean that when you're using it for your own good, especially a Pluto aspect conjunction, doesn't mean it's going to be good for other people. In fact, you're quite the power to reckon with, and misunderstood. Most likely, you do have power. You're righteous. There is that righteousness that comes with the conjunctions, and we're dealing with that in the air right now with the first conjunction of Mercury and Pluto. Thank you very much. And I don't doubt that courtrooms are lighting up about some things, brand new stuff. You need to, if you are a humanitarian, and I say, you need to know that. Okay, first of all, what is that? Why do we even need that? Well, it's because there's unhumanity, there's inhumanity going on, crimes against humanity, and a humanitarian not only relieving the stresses where the results of tyranny and oppression are playing out, but they raise awareness and they also fight to keep the pollutions down of all kinds and See, that's not being done enough, right? There's too many people just living obliviously, and they also get poisoned by their environment that is poisoned, or their foods or something like that. And so, what is going to, I imagine, what's going to be going into court more, if anybody has survived this, my generation, the Libra, right? The Libra generation is going to light up, and I imagine that, I can just see that how Pluto would just have a fun time going through the courthouse. It's like, are you ready? Did you build enough and get enough seats? Because now we're going to talk. The scales are going to go in and start tipping with the higher courts of law. If it's righteous and good, it's going to align. Just have to get more people. See, the thing is okay. What aligns? Well, there's the right math. There really is, and the trouble is how much corruption there really is. But there's higher and higher courts of law that corruption can't happen, because when it gets higher and higher, you just can't do that. There's a better order, really. There is a lot of deception. I mean, hey, very questionable, because that's Jesus. Do I need to explain a little bit what happened? He said, yeah, of course, because that's where we left off, the judicial system. All right. So the bottom line is, you don't judge people. I mean, that's the bottom line. You don't even talk about judging unless you're going to the judge. Right? So you don't do that. But that thing has happened against people who are probably innocent. See, that's what some people might be experiencing, is that they're being, if they don't do a certain thing, say monetarily, and now let's just talk about the basics. Everybody has to do that insurance and all this other stuff. And if you don't, you can get fined more, and there you're ending up into the judge hall. And it's like, well, we can agree on some things, like, well, we would love to work together with our money and pay taxes for some reason, but there's a big suspicion that might be going somewhere else into corrupt hands, and we don't see as much, and we're working really hard, and lives are passing before our eyes, and before you know it, it's cradle to grave. And what just happened, and nothing has gotten better. There's an increasing amount of desert situation, especially amongst the human ecology, where nobody is helping each other anymore, because they don't know how to do it anyway with their hands. And does anybody know how to do farming? Why is it looking more and more barren? Also, ecologically, geologically, not a garden. People walking out just like this, and come on, am I saying anything or not anything? I'm just an entertainment center here, saying nothing. Do I need to make a comedy out of it? Yes, it's a big comedy. When do we stop laughing and ignoring? Good God, how um, hor- putrid the entertainment system really is. I mean, forever, right? More violence, and just, yeah, no, like John Lennon says, they show violence all day on TV, but they don't show anybody making love properly, let alone just making love. Maybe it is something that you could do. Maybe there is a right or wrong way to do things, and making love and all that other kind of stuff is one of them. And, well, we certainly don't know that. I just feel like I'm as controversial as hell. Jesus, oh, yeah, girl. Ventriloquism sucks, by the way, and that's been your hand the whole time. That's an inside joke. By the way, I've got tons of videos here with my comedy act trying to do astrology. Talk about the penetrating um, aspect in the sky with our minds. Did you feel it, man? People psychically, they could be just collapsing right now, but other people are going, I think I can walk the edge of what? Of what? The truth, baby. Let it consume you. Into the fire you go. But don't worry, see, now we got Venus. Venus is doing a hefty, unpredictable, but pleasurable romantic trine. See, when you have a Venus aspect to Uranus, and this is a trine, so it's not anything like not so unpredictable that we won't like it. This is something that says, you know what, you're gonna make some money. Something is gonna fall for a woman of the pleasure zone, but it's gonna be unpredictable, very earthy. If you have been doing your work, I would say that this is in general for the human organism, which I speak for the Aries, which you can't get any more human than that. It's the Aries, the head. Is it getting in? Um, kind of little baby talking about it, and so I'm talking about it. I am humanity. it's a really good time to cash in on your very earthly, really your moral values that would be like that's the Venus and Capricorn points at that. It's very refined. And it's not, and not to say that we have to be a Capricornian person, really, for all of us, all of humanity has gotten to this refined, like polished point of some of us, have worked really hard and we're going to start reaping the rewards unpredictably. You have to work it. Go out there and display whatever it is that you have been valuing and what gives you pleasure. If it's see, a lot of people want to talk about making money and stuff, and this does talk about the making money part. I mean, it's just going to be unpredictable. You will probably capitalize on something of your earthy needs, the needs of the people. What it could be anything really. Healing is along the lines, of environmental issues. Really, we will probably win. We will probably be seen if we really speak about it. And so with Mars and Capricorn also, see, we have Venus still kind of now. I'm talking about February, and just that the major aspect we have is that Pluto conjunct in Aquarius. See, um, uh, the it's got a little Capricorn tinge to it, so we would want to look at the Saturn, which is the Saturn is such a it's such a sensitive place for Saturn and for everybody. It's really kind of straightening up the drawers and the closet of our closets, like behind closed doors. It's really our subconscious emotional upkeep and storage place. And when Saturn is there, well, it's in Pisces, you see. Now your dreams might be kind of strange at this time. Um, Especially with that Mercury conjunct Pluto, a lot of subconscious stirring up. And if you didn't notice, that's probably why. Well, I usually get up at about 3:30 in the morning or 4. I'm getting to sleep at 9, and I think that 3 hours is more than enough of rest for somebody who vibrates and outputs a lot. Like try to understand Tesla or somebody who would say, um, well, Jesus would say also, he says, man does not live on bread alone. And what he was talking about was that we don't just eat food to get energy. We're getting energy from the cosmos, and also, looking at Mother Nature, looking at a rose garden, or looking how the whole thing and everything feeds you, and you're, nourishing yourself with that. Imagine, so having said that, if there isn't any much of that going on, I mean, just leave at least a plant up, especially around wintertime, it gets kind of difficult, right? Thanks for listening to this. Bye. The way, yeah, getting deeper here with just hitting these. See, because then what's going to happen next? It's a very Plutonian month. Man, and I wouldn't have it any other way around the heart chakra day. See, we first have right now is the Mercury conjunct Pluto, and then very mentally penetrating people in the sky. It's really crown chakra oriented for sure. Aquarius, kind of rough because we've never really experienced this particular conjunction, any of them, with the fact that, see, technically, um, Pluto's energy was being hidden by the sun. Now the sun is moving away from it and leaving Pluto naked, which is like, literally, it's like, oh my God, humanity is naked. Yes, there it is. Look at it. All of it. So much truth to come up about what we already know that has been hidden. That's going to just warp the hell out of people. And like I said, it doesn't have to be that you watch a video like mine and hit dislike and it's satisfying. No, you're going to get the dawn on with yourself. You're going to be like, oh my God. Hopefully you'll be okay. Just sit with it. It's called after. See, truth pain or truth sickness, as a lot of people have been going, congratulations, we're going through it now. It's going to be another long time. See, the thing about there's a lot to talk about. So anyway, you're good. You're good. You're good. Sorry, I'm listening to this one guy talking. He ends up just saying that, when he gets all crumbled up with stuff. So anyway, getting back to the conjunctions with Pluto all month. We're starting with The first one that's kind of there without the sun's energy, um, making Pluto all like, yay, I love the sun. It's really that, yeah, Pluto affects the sun, gives it a little drop of truth serum, and sun's like, yay. Doesn't mean it doesn't like it. It just turns it into a scorpionic like scene. It's like, what is going on over there? Well, that's the truth happening. Don't mind the children. They're enjoying it. To tell you the truth, you guys are, you think you know what's good for yourselves, but you don't even haven't for the children, but you haven't even found out what's good for you. So how do you know? I mean, you're looking great there, like most of America, and well, you can't see anything but their physical. Um, uh, they're amazing physiques, they are. I'm not saying that as a narcissist, saying you just got to look good and that's it. No, it actually is like this. Your body is, your mind is following your body. The more and more incapable you're getting, especially maybe with something not visible, maybe you're being tattered with your mind. Maybe your mind's the culprit. On top of being the culprit, it's going to defend itself that it's not the culprit. But let's just give it all the steam in the world. See, this is where I say that, yeah, we can see that some of the one side of the organism is more susceptible to the mind than the other, but both are narcissists. They are, and or they have a mind there that they can be susceptible to its illusions and the way that it is, just its nature, if it's not being looked into. So, but one is more susceptible than the other to the disease that can be the mind called narcissism, and that is the man. Thank you for clarifying that, and I didn't make that up. That's just well, I think that what I'm talking about scientifically as the organism, yes, you can see, God, if you just penetrate into what psychologists have already studied for us for many years, that the tediousness about a boy's upbringing, because he's not born from or into his own intelligence, not right away. He has to search for it. Whereas if it's a girl being born to out of the mother, the female's intelligence, she doesn't need to go anywhere else. She's very empowered there. And that's what the controversy is. There could be a lot of controversy with that, putting little boys and little girls together, as far as how that, I'm not just saying this now. Jesus, am I safe? Hell no! Well, it's not known. It's been known. It's just probably been hidden. But women are sexually more mature than men. They just sexually mature more. I mean, they have to know a lot. Their body is going to start bleeding by a certain time. That's menstruation. That's when she's actually sexually mature biologically. She's ready to have a child right then. But step away from that. Woo! You want also spiritual, and you want a full round emotional maturity, right? But the truth is, she's apt to be kind of way up there if she's got a mother who is also in tune with her body. And God, do I need to get into detail here? But I think we should. The intelligence of love, her. I've been talking about it here, and I would love for a conversation to start up. But it's like, well, so what? It's I'm like, no, this is something that might be the problem, lopsiding the entire um, chances for there to be an actual human civilization to emerge. Just in case, kids, back to going to court and establishing which side are we on. See, I'm the organic one. I say, yeah, I think that life can be really amazing in harmony if we use harmonious things, and use and be harmonious with the things that are there to use for us. That's a very Venus and Capricorn trine Uranus to say. The Uranus trine Venus coming up here it just means that, like, a very unpredictable, like very fortunate, earthy, like, really, well, here's $1 million for you because you just said that. Really? Yeah, and would you please say some more? Yeah, because I don't care about the $1 million. What the fuck am I gonna do with this crap? I'm looking around at babies. They live in a crib, and then they walk outside, and then they get into another crib, and it's their car, and then they go around in a maze, and they're being fed by shit. And I'm like, well, how much does money get you to where? What? How fancy is your spackle before a fucking hurricane comes and sucks it away if you get a fucking island in Costa Rica because you got fucking money? Back to. I just don't see it, babes. People are hitting not even a ceiling. It's more like, do you realize that you are being caught in a low life situation forever spinning on this crap and nobody fucking. How many people do not question it and think that this is the most hilarious part in the video, even though it's serious? Serious as hell. I have. Do you want to talk about a Venus opposing my Saturn? I have a beautiful place here. We all do. It's a great opportunity, but well, can we stop being at war with each other from one household to the next because you really think it's about a penny and a dime and a cage? I'm all for just, I'm not all for see, I'm an Aquarius moon. I'm not saying let's give up our privacy and our individuality and the way that we express and what we need. Let's not give up what we need, which is a lot of space. I'm sorry, but the more and more we figure it out, really, you need to decide where are you in your level of figuring it out. Some people have figured out that you need spiritual space, which results in living on a planet. Your conscientious of living on a planet Earth, and maybe your structures turn out to be so amazing that they're still there over there. You just forgot that you built those. Oh, well, whatever you were as an organism programmed to do, knowing that you had done something, you do something else because you're so fucking bitching. You are building things out of space. You're building things out of the technology that's available right now, but it's hidden. What built the pyramids? What has built all of the structures that have been hidden, way hidden? You only see a few things, but when you keep looking, you keep saying, well, look at this. A whole jungle is overgrown of these amazing stone structures that, how do they do that? Well, it's obvious. You can see some sites that they have just set down some big floaty machinery. Okay, you know about those space balls that go over the cornfields and they really are making designs. They make these geometric designs that just tantalize your eyes, and there have been a video of it where the darn things, they were there, these balls, and all they are is just kind of like it's a highly heavy duty technology that is electromagnetically moving things with their electromagnetic freaking capability, and it's creating intricate freaking carvings inside of cornfields, and they leave. There's like three of them, and they go computerized, fucking mesmerizing geometry. If you want to call that God, sure. Have we been harmed by a crop circle? If anything, it scares the crap out of everybody, and thank God for that. Thank God that there is still a possibility of thinking, well, if we don't know enough about God, it's fucking scary. And why is it scary? Why? What is scary about it? Your mind is not handling it at all, just like me. I mean, to talk about it, an alien being hidden just in outer space, reality. Oh, God. I, I'm human. I'm humane. Hey, let's get back to it. I just can't get past it. We won't. Nothing will ever be the same. Not after this month. We have, even though it's a short month, woo! We are going through an eternal fire. Because after this day, I can't believe it's still recording. Mercury conjuncts Neptune. I'm sorry, Pluto tomorrow on the 6th, which is like, wow. Well, it's far into the conjunction. It's actually going to conjunct sometime today and tomorrow. It's interesting. Um, uh, let's see, between noon tomorrow, so give it to, they're ahead 12 hours, so yeah, so it's later for us. Anyway, sorry. Uh, Later on, so I already talked about the Uranus trine to Venus, which is like, some romantic thing going on with the Earth and women. Women are gonna pick up a gold nugget and say, "Yeah, right," and toss it aside and say, "You see that water? It has been water. What shimmers has always been water. What glitters has always been water. And so then she'll try not to be sexy, but she just is because that's the Venus and Capricorn. She's busy working, and she's like a bumblebee that has so much honey around her, and but she's still, all she can choose is the fishnet stockings and the bullwhip and it's all black but anyway, that's what's happening over there in the Capricorn. If you're up there, you just switch to back in black, and we don't know what they're really doing with sex and money. Okay. But it's unpredictable now. It's going to be the most jolly thing, and then we'll go into, I'm sorry, well, because of the Jupiter trine, too. Jupiter, Capricorn, Earth stuff. Just go play the lotto. Try it, try it, try it. We also have, we've already been through it, so now we're going to just check this out. It's looking like Mars. Okay, so now we're heading back and see that on the trine. Sorry. Thanks for sticking with us. You're crazy. The trine of Venus, women, and Uranus, unpredictability. So watch out for them. It's all good. They're gonna do great. It happens on Friday. Some kind of celebration. I also heard that something gnarly was gonna happen on Friday. I'm trying to look for it, and it's like, well, the only thing I can see is that not much else. You know what's going to happen is that, see, on the same time Friday that Venus trines Uranus. Well, the Sun is going to square Uranus. This is right around the 9th, which is very peculiar to have that happen at the same time. The Sun is going to be involved with a conflict with Uranus, and then Venus is going to be trine Uranus. So whatever happens with the Sun and Uranus, which is a very unstable, I probably already talked about it. Now this is new moon astrology, so I'll put this up around near the new moon. Actually, I'm going to post it tomorrow night because I'm talking about the 5th and 6th, and I'll probably post it and have it come out the morning of tomorrow or tonight. Anyway, I have yet to freshen up, and I'm just sitting in my bedroom here, and how are you doing? Hi, I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not. Definitely have my own problems, and I'm not going to put my here on Facebook or anywhere else, more than it has been. But we should be able to communicate here. We should be communicating. We should finding. See, that's the use. That's what that's what Tesla. Pardon me. That's what Tesla suggested, is that people will come together more. It would be like they were never before. They were coming together, and I was like, Tesla, wait a minute, Tesla, have you noticed? People hate each other. That's the last thing they want to do, is to come together. Why? There's a whole 30 minutes of talking about, well, why do people run away from other people? Why do they run away from relationships? What is relationship really? Do we know what we're doing at any time, anywhere, anyway? Anyhow, comment section down below. I'm going to continue with some astrology. Yes, by the time it's the 14th, we're going to experience a wonderful Mars is going to be conjuncting Pluto. Whew, babes, I hope you guys love each other. That's the time you get together. If Mars conjunct Pluto, I have Mars conjunct Pluto, babe. This is like, Scorpio is actually in the air with that. And somebody's going to prove their point with, who I think it is, because that Mars is going to be like standing there alone, conjunct Pluto, going, yeah, I am, and that's all. But then, who sneaks up? 1, 2, 3 days later on the 17th, and it's a Saturday because maybe she's working hard, and moves in, but she moves into fucking Aquarius and conjuncts Pluto. A woman, Venus, conjuncts Mars, conjunct Pluto. If I have not ever seen an organism get together organing, the saying goes, what's better? Oh God, we have to keep having sex. Do it right. Do it in front of children. No, really. Organism. Sheeps don't know what an organism is. They know what orgasms are, though. Start writing it down, point it out, lift it up, say, hey, now that's what we know. Keep it, order in the court, keep them in order.